Hello and welcome back to a new tutorial where we continue where, we left you in the previous tutorial and explained you all the different tabs that is included in VR Inspector. In this tutorial we will go and more in detail and explain what each button does and what the functionalities are, and explain with directly applying each of the buttons in this scene, so we can have a better understanding what each button or action is doing. We will start with 2D button, and what we will do is the first one is switch the light, the directional light in your scene on and off with a 2D button, and then we will explain exactly the same thing with a 3D button. So let's get started. First of all, in order to create a button, we go to our VR element, we select the 2D button because we want the 2D button appear here. We give it the name, we say switch light living room. The scale will be 1. We will then use the icon for switch. We just drag and drop the different states, but we will use for each state the same. And then in the type we select normal. We are not selecting sticky or billboard because we want always appear on the same platform. We don't want to face it to the camera while we're walking around. So it will be the normal, and from the start we will start using the activate. An activate object is, it will turn on and off any object that you want to turn on and off, as I just explained. Then we hit add action. The sounds, we're skipping it right now as well. We'll cover this at the latest tutorial. We add text, we do exactly the same thing. Switch light the living room, and then hit create button. And here we can select it. We just move it a little bit more here, with somewhere over here. It's not important right now where you want to move it. So once this is selected, we can move a little bit more up over here. Then we select the button, go to the inspector. As you can see, a couple of things has been added: a collider, a sprite renderer, the audio source, the action list, the VR 2D button. These are exactly the same settings that we had in our VR element. You can modify and add, and also from here, from the inspector itself. And we gave it a name, and where we want to turn on and off light, we just give it, because we can also turn on and off multiple objects at the same time. It can be a light with a mesh or anything that you want. Actually, we just give 1 for now because I only want to turn on and off the directional light. We just hit this, and that's it. Actually, we can test it really easily because I want to, instead of every time hooking up my Oculus or my Vive and try to run it and record it, I rather do it this way. So I move my camera over here for now, and then it will not do anything because we haven't told the system use the main camera as and give it the property to side selector, so that way I can select my buttons just looking at the button, and then it will trigger the action. And this will work directly if you connect your Oculus and your Vive. We'll show another tutorial at the end with the complete scene build. I will put on the Oculus and the Vive and show a video that demonstrates that is actually working. We also need to tell the system use the main camera as and give it the property the side selector. So the side, the main camera, and say eyesight. And here we can define certain properties. The selection distance is if you know the maximum and the minimum distance from wall to wall. But default is 10, so I leave it at 10. Then we will select the crosshair that you want to appear here. It's a little bit far. The depth, so now let's say it's 2, and then we can make the crosshair a little bit bigger. It's up to you. And then active color is what color you want your crosshair to appear when you hover over a button. So now in this case it's red, but I can select any color I want based on your requirements. And now I just turn, as you see here, I can see it and change the depth. So it's a little bit far now, but it still will detect everything behind if you have a button on this wall, because the selection distance we can set over here, and we can even increase it or decrease it if we want. And that's it. And now if I hit the start button and turn to the left, it will turn on up, and I'm turning, but as I just mentioned, you just can connect your Oculus and look at the button and it will do exactly the same thing. So this was the first action in our list, because the 2D button has multiple actions, and we will go through all of them and just directly apply in our scene so we can understand it better. So hope you like it. The next will be the Activate VR elements we'll do at the end. What this does is it creates a menu icon where you can turn on and off all your icons in your scene, especially handy when you're walking around and you don't want all your icons appear all the time. This is really easy. We can turn on and off the whole menu system. So the next step, or the next icon that we will create, is the load scene. Thank you, and see you in the next tutorial.